there's three of us writers on that, Jeremy, myself, and Daniel Dawson. I mean, the universal message is about running back to God, or actually Him running to us when we've run away so many times. But I think to each one of us, we have our own personal stories, and for me personally, I just felt like I didn't have that closeness with God, which is crazy because I'm on stage every night and I'm talking to teenagers every day and adults just about the love of Christ and how their life they don't have to feel empty and alone and those kinds of things. But there was about 3 or 4 years there where I'm sharing that from the stage, but inside I was feeling kind of empty and even kind of alone. And I've got a beautiful wife and 3 awesome kids, so it's like, how can you feel alone when you have this amazing family that supports you and loves you? My wife is my best friend, and so how can you feel that way? But what was happening is that I was pouring out, and I wasn't getting fed back or filled back up, and food became an outlet for me. And it's kind of embarrassing to talk about, but I gained over 100 pounds, and so that was very difficult because I didn't even want to get out of the bus, and I'm doing concerts every night, and I'm staying in the bus and just kind of ashamed, and I feel like I let my band members down, and even my kids, and my middle son said, "Daddy, I miss you," and I thought that was very odd because he's with me all the time. All my kids travel with me since they were 6 weeks old, but he wasn't talking about physically missing me, that he missed me, that something had gotten lost. His daddy had somehow gotten lost. And the song Found is just about how I came to the realization that I had been running to other things instead of running to God. And when that happens, it's hard to be the person that you could be or should be. I think for me, it was just difficult because I had a $400 a day cocaine addiction, and God delivered me from that, and then to have to admit that here I am now running to something else was a very difficult thing for me to do that, but here we are, recovery stages, and maybe I'll look like these two guys one day.
We wrote with a handful of people, like you said, and it was mainly just because there's like writing with a songwriter like Daniel Doss, they bring up things and pull things out of you that you didn't know were there. And it's always special to write with people like that. But Daniel, he wrote with us on that song. Another song called Horizon we wrote with Matt Armstrong and Ross King. And those guys were phenomenal. That song turned out amazing. And then we wrote with actually this band right here, Consumed by Fire. Those guys came over and wrote a song with us called My Last Words, which is a really, really special song, at least to me, but I know to the whole band it is. And those guys are super talented and helped us with that. They've actually been like friends for probably 15 years. And then we also had some extra musicians play too that we felt like we just wanted to bring into the thing. We wrote with Andrew Stanton from Disciple. He wrote one of the songs with us and played a guitar solo on it. It's killer. If you hear the amazing guitar solo, it was not me. It was Andrew. And then on another song, it was Justin Forshaw from As We Ascend. It's just great musicians all over the album, great songwriting. Joseph, even though we brought in these other guys to help us out with some other songs, the songwriting to me is just top notch. Over the years, I still get blown away when Joseph's like, "Here's this thing I'm working on." I'm like, "Whoa, that's killer. It's right on." I couldn't have said it better myself, or couldn't have thought that up. That's amazing. So it's a real honest album, and I believe to me, it's my favorite album we've ever done. I know everybody says that on their new album, but it really is. It's a great album.